everybody, we're going to do a short demonstration, and then we're going to do some questions after this. But as we started off, we showed Melissa's the McAfee buying process, right? So this is their sales process aligned with the customer journey, all right? So most people start with this as your training point, right? You train your people in this. Or maybe you've got a visualization that looks like this, right? A buyer-aligned sales process. So the buyer stages, the sales stages, key activities, verifiable outcomes, all those key elements that make up your sales process, and then the tools that you use in the journey. And I'm going to jump over, and everybody on your screen should be seeing salesforce.com, right? And so, you know, Revigi, we're agnostic to the CRM. It's going to be Salesforce or Microsoft or SAP or Oracle. But in all of those applications, you go look at a sales process, and this is what it looks like. And frankly, that bears no resemblance to what we just taught everybody. And if we're trying to drive behavior change and make something stick and consistent execution, we really need to be able to, in every single opportunity, visually bring our sales process to life. And so we're looking at a sales opportunity for the big data project that's going to close in June for $1.7 million. And wouldn't it be nice if we actually visually represented the process that we've trained everybody on inside the tools that they're using for CRM? And then as part of CRM and as part of each stage, you see your sales stages across the top. You see key activities that we're supposed to perform in each one. We see our verifiable outcomes that indicates the client's aligned with us, and even coaching interjections. But one of the first things, if you're looking at a challenger model, is a persona-based provocation. So let's say we're going to have a first call on a VP of customer care. Wouldn't it be nice if we had just-in-time performance support that said, for that VP of customer care, here's the provocation, here's the reframe, here's the rational drowning that you should be using. How about we serve up the reinforcement and the tools at the point in time when they're needed to everybody, so they don't have to go hunting around, sending out emails to who's got the latest PowerPoint presentation, hunting through SharePoint or something for the latest decks, etc. So that's an example of a tool, right? Is that bringing you the persona-based provocation. Challenger also has this concept of a scorecard, which says, how well does this particular opportunity meet our ideal customer profile? And wouldn't it be nice, right, if we could just answer a series of questions here related, you know, in this case, these are Challenger-related questions, and get an overall visualization of how well aligned this particular sales opportunity is with what we consider to be ideal. Now, what you're seeing here is a representation of Challenger method, but it doesn't make any difference if it's Challenger or solution selling or Miller Hyman or Richardson or any of a number of things. You know, Revigi is going to give you that ability to visually bring your method to life. Now, another key tenet of every sales methodology is really understanding the who's who in the zoo. Who are the players that we're trying to engage with? And wouldn't it be nice if the solution actually represented, you know, the green people who like us, the red people who don't, the yellow people who are neutral, and the gray people we've never spoken to? Something like this is far more powerful in terms of driving critical thinking and coaching than just simply a list of contact roles in an organization. And the concept behind Revigi is not just to bring these tools to life visually, but also still that just-in-time performance support. So for example, one of the things in Challenger customers to understand the mobilizer. Well, wouldn't it be nice if while we're going through this process to identify the mobilizer, I could click a button and get access to the things that tell me, how do I understand what a mobilizer is, right? Now, I'm showing you some information from CEB around Challenger and mobilizer. Revigi is not providing Challenger selling or Challenger training. We don't provide any intellectual property. I'm just showing you how you can use our technology to link to your tools and your intellectual property. And in this case, the example is Challenger. Perhaps when you've done your training for your teams, you may have actually done perhaps a video. You want to record some of your internal people giving a best practice 3 to 5 minute pitch on how to find out who a mobilizer is. So this is that example of just-in-time performance support. As you're in the middle of actually executing, right, your sales process, and as you go through and execute your sales process, whether it's Challenger, solution selling, or what have you, Revigi is supporting you at each step of the way. to drive that behavior change, because we all know that if we change people, and too often we do a dip the sheep approach. We bring everybody in for training at sales kickoff, and then next year we'll bring them in and we'll train them again. We've got to drive behavior change to get measurable results. Now, the last part of this that I'll show is how do we take this? We're still looking at a single opportunity inside Salesforce. How can I bring this visually to life for the management team? Right? So you've got a methodology which is Challenger or something else, right? Wouldn't I like to apply that method, my way of selling? And for McAfee, for them, it was a combination of Challenger and other methodologies. So they built their hybrid methodology. How do you visually bring your pipeline to life and show me where the risk has been inserted based upon our methodology? So we see here these boxes. These boxes are deals. Big boxes are big deals. Little boxes are little deals. And the color indicates the risk. And so we had just been looking at the big data project. Let's take a look at that. And what we can see is that based upon the qualification scorecard, this particular opportunity is only marginally qualified. Well, you know what? I probably need to either fix some of these things or get it out of the pipeline. If I look at the relationship map that we just looked at, there's an awful lot of really important people, decision makers and approvers, who are going to vote for the competition. How do we get those people to neutral? And then the other thing that's fairly common is if you've got a buyer's journey, what you're looking for is alignment between your sales process and the buying process. And what we can see represented here is that the buyer is still way back early in the journey, but the salesperson has progressed this opportunity all the way through to stage 4. So we've got misalignment between the seller, who's potentially got some happy years, and where the buyer is in their journey. And so that's the idea that Revigi is trying to bring to life for you, is to take your method, your way, whether it's something you purchased directly from a methodology vendor like Challenger or Solution Selling, or you've built your own, or you've got a combination of the two. How do you bring the methodology to life to guide the teams to consistent behavior change, and then make the measurable results obvious, and that we can actually gain the results that we expect from the methodology?